On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. I hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Well, the war against law seems to be continuing. Trump's kind of still making some weird noises about getting rid of the filibuster, which is interesting. And I get kind of where he's coming from, but at the same time, like I think many people that really think through these things, it's kind of scary, getting rid of the filibuster. This is something that's actually saved us on numerous occasions. And we know if they shouldn't get control, but if the Democrats ever do get control of the government again, oh my God, right? This could be horrific. So I guess I'm a little apprehensive about just trusting that we got this completely. Yeah, I'm following the plan. Yeah, I'm following it, but it still requires people to get on board. That's the hard part. People. I get the plan. The plan's awesome. What about the public? Oh, they'll be on board, Dan. You sure? I see them get frizzle-frazzle, all sorts of stuff. It's crazy what's happening. So, I don't know. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of news going on as always. Wanted to start with a couple fun little videos. Well, fun's loosely termed. Here's a 2013 clip of Obama scolding Republicans on how irresponsible it is to shut the government down. You should never do that.
If Republicans do not like the law, they can go through the regular channels and processes to try to change it. That's why we have elections. So they can go through the normal processes and procedures of a democracy, but you do not threaten the full faith and credit of the United States of America. Shutting down the government just because you don't like a law that was passed, I have to say no Congress before this one has ever in history been irresponsible enough to threaten an economic shutdown, to suggest America not pay its bills, just to try to blackmail a president into giving them some concessions. I will not negotiate on anything when it comes to the full faith and credit of the United States of America. We're not going to submit to this kind of total irresponsibility. Congress needs to pay our bills on time. Congress needs to pass a budget on time. Congress needs to put an end to governing from crisis to crisis.
I didn't know we actually had to worry about which race the male came from. You know? Black male? Really? I mean, it's like, that's oh, that's not what he meant? Oh, sorry. Sounded like it. Sounded like he was being racist about the male. Whatever. Maybe that wasn't the case. This is my idea of LGBT, by the way. I'm like, you know what? I can 100% get behind this idea. 100%. I can support this. Oops. For those of you playing along at home, that's liberty, guns, beer, and titties. Titties? I don't know. I had breasts there at the end with the T word. So, hey, you go ahead and decide what you want to do. I'll decide what I want to do. Or touch or motorboat with, which is also appropriate right now. Shutdown hitting millions of homes that depend on heating assistance. Heading into the colder season, that's for damn sure, November 2nd, right? So we are heading into, shit, it's cold. You know, not people like me that live in Southern California. I mean, please. Man, it'll probably be 80 degrees on Christmas Day. Get out of here. No, it'd be nice, but the rest of you guys that are freezing your ass off, dude, yeah, it's getting cold. There's, I guess, some sort of funding like SNAP that I'm sure is also abused for about $4.1 billion that is not going to be happening while the shutdown's happening. Now, the shutdown's interesting. There's people that are speculating that once Mom Donnie wins that we're going to open up. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's going to be their clarion call, that somehow that's going to be something they can rally behind. It's entirely possible, but I don't feel very legit, but probably one of the best things they've got to hang their hat on at this point. But the Dems are running out of things they can do. And there are many that are speculating our United States government is technically bankrupt. Now, is Trump working with that through tariffs, through these trade deals? Like, is there something happening? Is the United States corporation literally going bankrupt and Trump's doing a lot of other stuff based off of the camel case letter, United States of America? It is it's hard to say. I mean, there's speculation everywhere. Certainly, there's pretty solid speculation that Trump was the commander-in-chief during Biden's administration, which is just kind of crazy just on its face right there. So there is a lot to say about these things, but we don't know for sure, right? I know a lot of people like to talk about it, and it's really cool to be able to say things for sure that you have zero for sure knowledge on. But what is that? Anyway. Democratic Party base has been overtaken by angry women. Actually. Calling them losers is not necessarily going to make them happy, but then nothing will, right? So it doesn't matter.
I mean, this AOC obsession with Riley Gaines, I find it just delicious because it kind of, it reveals the vapidity of AOC when you get right down to it.
Well, it's also that the base of the Democrat Party really has become angry women. And women who are angry tend to be very mean to other women who are smarter or prettier or more successful or braver than they are. And that's what we're seeing here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's true. And I'm going to say it. I have a lot of ladies in my audience, so I mean no disrespect. But I spent a lot of time with ladies over my life, and you make 0 cents, first off. It's okay, though. That's okay. We're just simple, stupid, simpletons. But y'all, when you get mad at each other, you all wear makeup because of each other. You all buy the nicest, fanciest clothes and stuff like that because of each other. A lot of you guys, no, I want the guy to know. Guys don't notice that shit. No, other women do. Y'all dress up for each other. And then you're dicks to each other. Not technically, because you're vaginas to each other. And it's sometimes funny to watch. I'll be honest. It's fun to watch two chicks get pissed at each other. Like, it's not cool to watch two dudes fight. Like, I don't know. I don't like it. Ultimately, they're going to make up and life's good. But, some damage can happen. But two chicks getting mad at each other and doing little slights, little passive-aggressive stuff towards each other. Oh, man. Passive-aggressive, no hair-pulling fights are kind of fun to watch. I mean, boobies don't accidentally pop out. But, they're still funny. You ladies know what I'm talking about, right? You guys can be brutal to each other. Brutal. That is an ugly face. I don't know who that is, but yeah. So anyway, this is the problem that's happening. Marjorie Taylor Greene seemed like an appropriate place to put her. Angry woman. She's done nothing to fix Obamacare is what she's screaming about. And that's somehow the GOP's fault. Somehow. I haven't heard you make any noise about it yet there, Obama Queen, at all. In fact, you've been in office for almost 4 years now, going on 4 years, right? Right? Longer than that even, I think. You were in office in the first Trump administration, so like 8 years now. You haven't done shit with Obamacare, have you? Yet you're blaming the GOP. Well, I haven't been able to get it. Well, you're fucking everything up anyway. You don't get how the game's played. And again, I don't necessarily like the game, right? I don't like the game. But I certainly ain't hating the playa. You do, Marjorie. You're hating the playa when you should be hating the game. I hate to borrow a stupid lyric, but it's true. LA Mayor Karen Bass demands LAFD investigate itself. Los Angeles Fire Department, investigate yourself for how this horrible fire happened. I'm going to accept zero responsibility for it because I am a communist. That's what I do. It's not my fault. It's your fault somehow. So investigate yourself. Get back to me about how my DEI hire to fill the LAFD fire department role and all the things that failed to happen within that city, probably because of the budget that Karen gave, was incapable of handling a fire. And then there was the whole fact that the experts were saying, hey, you need to put out that underground fire stuff. You guys aren't done. The fire's still going. It's burning underground. And they're like, nah, underground fires are cool. And they're not. And that's what apparently they're blaming it on. I mean, it's possible. It is possible, right? It's not like they're trying to expect me to, accept a backdraft or something, which is also possible. Great movie. You guys remember that one? Backdraft? That was fun as hell. So, I don't know. For some reason, this jumped out at me. I don't know if it matters at all. Probably doesn't, really. I don't care, frankly. But for some reason, it jumped out at me. It says almost half of humanity is Gen Z or Gen Alpha. The global population has reached 8.2 billion. Almost half the population is the newer generation. Everyone's saying the birth rate is not, we're running out of, they're not producing children fast enough. Half the population of the planet right now is young. Is what they're saying. Kind of crazy. I think we're going to get to this chart in a second. Or maybe that's the point of that slide. Right now, the house debt to income ratio, they're kind of ranking it by state. And really good in the middle of the country, apparently. House to debt incomes, like houses are pretty cheap. You know, you can make decent money, whatever the case is. You're not overextended. The worst is Idaho and Hawaii. And they have 2 years in a row, by the way, for Hawaii. Good job, Hawaii. 2.06%, which means that over 2% of your debt, it's like you make $100,000 a year, your debt is more than double that. I think that's how they were phrasing it. Right? 8.2, half a generation. Anyway. Anyway, this is the population one. I think I got that slide that's kind of explained better. We'll see. If not, oh well. These are the states where most Americans need housing assistance. This is out of 1,000, so 23 out of 1,000 in case of California, Oregon 22, Washington 21. You do see kind of, some consistency. It seems that the help with housing is in the very, I would consider Louisiana and Mississippi to be of the poorer parts of our country. New York, of the most crazy. It's extraordinarily expensive there. Massachusetts is in there at 49. New York's 50. Rhode Island's 53. So the top 5 are pretty crappy. District of Columbia at 72% of every 1,000 people need housing assistance. Puerto Rico 61. Rhode Island 53. New York 50. Pretty bad. The bottom ones, Utah is like 9% because, a lot of Mormons up there. They help each other. They're nice that way. Idaho at 10%, which is weird. Because Idaho was kind of, they're weird some other place on the graph. Was it this graph I was thinking of? Idaho is one of the worst when it came to household debt to income. But oddly, over on this other graph, they're the bottom, right? It's kind of weird. I don't know. Americans needing rental assistance. What about housing assistance? Meh. U.S. families are most strained by debt. Again, this is the one I think that breaks down the numbers. Idaho, Hawaii, 2.06 debt to income, which just basically means households owe just over twice their annual income after tax. So there you go. That's what that means. Which, again, I guess 2 times is you're definitely extended pretty hard and heavy. And then obviously this is an average, so there's worse and better. But I don't know. Hawaii has stayed the same. They didn't change. They were 2.06 from 1999 to 2025. And so that's weird. They haven't gotten any better. It's extraordinarily expensive to live in Hawaii. Definitely. I had a buddy that retired there. It's like, why are you retiring in Hawaii? He's like, I got a friend. It's like, okay, sure. Whatever works. So yeah, it's a mess, guys. It's a mess. Be careful. Deposit insurance for billionaires. I'm just bringing this up. I think it's kind of ridiculous. They're talking about changing the FDIC insurance from $250,000, which a lot more of the population of the country have possibilities of putting into their banks. Not very many still, but more. But they want to change it to $10 million, which would, for sure, help out extraordinarily wealthy people that have way too much cash in the bank, man. That's the thing. Like, you got to figure out what to do with the cash. Can't just have cash lying around. Cash doesn't do anything, right? Like, it's like they say gold or silver. It doesn't toil or something. I forget the thing that they always say, right? But it doesn't do work. It just hangs out and just holds on to your value. Not that I'm going there just yet, but it is kind of what the case is, right? So yeah, we've got BlackRock. They ripped off $500 million. They were ripped off, I should say. This is a trend we're hearing about. This isn't the first one. This is a different company now. This is BNB Paribas. They were backed by what turns out to be a bunch of fabricated accounts. We had a story recently that was similar. So this is a number of places where essentially they're fraudulently creating assets, and they're claiming they have these assets, and they're using those assets as collateral, but these assets are made up. And literally this is happening with like Fortune 500 companies and stuff, like big time companies. It says there's a series of collapses, which includes the headline-grabbing bankruptcies of First Brands and Tricolor Auto Group. Those are the recent one, both accused of pledging questionable assets. It has raised concerns that the private lenders' due diligence standards are being stretched thin. Now, it shows that we're catching all of the corruption that exists. Well, we're starting to. We know where to look. This isn't a error in due diligence. This was how the game was played. They knew it. We didn't, so we continued to play along with them. They've been taking advantage of us forever. This is more evidence of that. Berkshire Hathaway, well, we know that Buffett is actually, he's actually retiring at the end of this year, I believe, right? And so he is selling a lot of stuff, and Berkshire Hathaway is going pretty high up in the cash department. Really high, in fact. Their cash pile soared to a new all-time high of $381.7 billion in the third quarter. Again, cash is not a good idea. It doesn't do anything. It just sits there. And in most cases, you can't even get real good interest on it because the way banks work and everything else, right? So this means one of two things. One, Berkshire Hathaway is expecting the crash soon because cash is great for that. Cash is king. When a crash is coming, cash is king. You buy more stocks when they hit bottom. It's awesome. Something drops, Apple drops $50. Dude, you go in and buy a bunch of Apple. Right? Or $100 or whatever. Whatever's a legitimate crash that's going to happen. Or maybe, potentially, they might put it in crypto, but I don't think so because crypto's oddly priced. They did have a pretty hard down day the other day, but yeah. I mean, again, where they put it is tough. It's tough because you've got to try to get the highest percentage of your money. Otherwise, you're losing. So a lot of cash. This is something to pay attention to. It gives me indication that they're expecting something soon, and they want to have some cash around. Liquidity, they call it, so they can help. Oh, this is they're talking about in this story how the Fed's actually been doing this quantitative tightening. You know, they've been buying back debt, and that's stopping. The largest obstacle that we've got on our balance sheet is the Fed's own balance sheet, I should say. But they're talking about these central bank bought trillions of dollars in mortgage-backed securities at ultra-low yields, driving mortgage rates to levels that helped inflate an enormous housing bubble. These securities now sit underwater. The Fed earns roughly 2% on them while paying close to 5% to fund them. Meaning, they bought all these things when the interest rates were like nothing, and then interest rates went way up. Now they're stuck with all these investments that are worthless. In fact, they're losing money on them. The Fed, you know, the private industry that we owe everything to, that we technically probably owe this poor decision to as well. Now, again, this might be one of the things that we are able to utilize against them. Like, you picked up a bunch of crap debt, and you're somehow going to try to strap us with that. That's not our fault. That's your fault. You're a private corporate organization. We didn't have anything to do with that. That was your choice. You decided to do this. No, we're not. I mean, I don't know. I'm just giving an example. Like, I doubt it's that easy. Just be like, no. I mean, I'm sure, I'm sure there's a process. But there's a bunch of bad debt that they, they always kind of hide it in the reporting. I forget the term they use, unnormalized or unrealized debt, whatever it is. It's just because it hasn't been actually cashed in on yet. It's just something that's sitting there that people are well aware of. America power bill crisis rages in Democrat-run states. It is actually. Power's going up significantly. This is a pretty good graph here. District of Columbia has had the highest rate, and they've got a lot of people that need help with rent and everything else, right? Go figure. District of Columbia bill inflation, 32%. It's not regulated. Maryland is up 31%, not regulated. Connecticut's up 28%, not regulated. Delaware is up 27%, not regulated. California is up 26%, partially regulated. And then we've got the lowest, Louisiana, 6% increase. South Dakota, 5%. Arkansas, 5%. North Dakota, 4%. And Michigan at 3%. They got lots of, waterfalls and stuff, right? So they aren't so bad. but the top ones are horrible. And a lot of these places are getting cold right now, and their electric bills, because they're not allowed to use oil anymore, because of all this green crap, it's just extraordinarily expensive. And that's the big problem, is really, it comes down to, is a lot of the green answers are not sufficient. They're not good. They're crap. I'm going to say it. I'll say it. I did. Well, I think I did. So futures right now looking pretty flat. VIX is up, which means people are losing trust in the system. Gold's down a little bit. Oh, I'm not on futures. Hang on. Let's get to futures. Oh, futures are still flat. Just yeah. Gold and silver down a teeny tiny bit. It's not the expectation that they're going to stay there. And I want to remind you guys, we got a really sweet deal going on at Goldco, and I want you guys to take it. Anybody that's got a 401k or an IRA, this is only happening for November. This is it. And this process can take a couple, 3 weeks. So here's the thing. You got, a couple weeks or whatever to make sure you get on this, or you're going to miss out on this opportunity. It's a pretty sweet deal, and I'm trying to help you guys out. This is how it works. This is basically in a nutshell. So this is an exclusive offer for you guys. Okay, you're going to go to drslikesgold.com. If you got a 401k or an IRA, and you're backed by a cash, essentially, Federal Reserve note, that's losing value, and you got a stock market that's very uncertain right now. So just even inflation standpoint, you're losing money or not gaining as much as you think. And then with the potentiality of a stock problem, you're toast. You're screwed. It's not a good place to be. I'm to be honest with you. Precious metals hold the value. Meaning, easy way I always use the example is 1 ounce of gold will get you a fully tailored suit both now and back in 1930. 1 ounce of gold. Same thing then, same thing now. You don't get into precious metals to make money. You get into precious metals when the economy goes to crap. And that's what's happening, and that's what we're seeing. So it's exclusive to you guys. Limited time deal. November only. You open a qualified account with Goldco through my special link right here, drslikeSgold.com. You're going to get a 1% bonus silver for me. Seriously. It's a way to give back to you guys right now. So act now. This is the sales close, meaning the sales got to close. They got to get precious metals. They're going to do it tax-free, penalty-free. They put them into a trust. They don't give them straight to you. The 1%, I'm not sure what happens with that. I think they probably give that to you. And you're going to get up to 10% free silver already. So my 1%'s on top of that, up to 10%. Guaranteed 1% with me. Anything over 10,000, guaranteed. There's a variant. If you're 100 grand, it's an easy example to use. $100,000, you're going to get 10,000 free silver and another 1,000 in free silver on top of. For you, because you guys are the best. Silver's up a bunch. It's gone down a little bit recently. This is the best time to take advantage of it. We're going to see a jump again. This is seriously, it's got to close by the end of this month. If it doesn't close by then, the 1%'s gone. DRSlikesGold.com. DRSlikesGold.com. Tax-free, penalty-free. Get out of there. You can protect your wealth. Like I said, the buying power is held. Whatever you've got in retirement, whatever it can buy right now is what you'll be able to continue to buy a year, 2, 3, 4 down the road. Not sure how far this goes. Precious metals will protect you through it. While everyone else is getting crazy and, oh my God, I lost everything. You won't. And unfortunately, there's nothing for pensions. Can't do anything to help pension people. Sorry, guys. That money's in other people's hands. You can't do anything with it. It's not really yours, frankly. It's kind of a bummer. So check out this exclusive offer. Go to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. Get out of that system while you can and pick up an extra 1% silver on top of the up to 10% silver, on top of the tax-free, penalty-free, on top of the Ronald Reagan collectible coin. That's a half-ounce collectible silver, 0.999% silver, and your gold and silver kit. It's awesome. DRSlikesGold.com, DRSlikesGold.com. Get out of that system while you can. All right, we got some stuff. Fetterman, on Newsom moving to the center. This is pretty astute by this gentleman, and I love the positions he's starting to take. This guy's totally going to be bailing from the Democrat Party here any second, and frankly, it's going to be bitching when he does.
We have seemingly seen Newsom shift more to the middle on hot-button issues. Let's take a quick listen. This is a clip from his podcast with the late Charlie Kirk.
Would you say no men and female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree with you on that. It is an issue of fairness. So it's deeply unfair.
You alluded to this earlier. I mean, do you think the shift to the center really has to be the right move for the party going forward, whether it's Newsom or anyone else?
Everyone's going to go into the middle, but people forget that the internet exists, and all the clips and all the outlandish things that they've said or they've done. That's going to have about $20 or $30 million that to pound you for those things. So it's like, for all of the things that you say right now, or the things now you want to pander or monetize faux outrage, now you're going to pay when you actually have to run in an election, that you're accountable when you actually have Republicans and Democrat, and you have a purple situation where you have to find a way forward. And that's exactly what I've been trying to do here during my time here in the Senate.
Yeah, so as we see Newsom trying to position himself as more centrist, more moderate, do you think that some things in the past are going to come back to haunt him?
Well, they're all. I mean, everyone will. They'll pander, scream to the base, and then they're going to have to try to just walk it back, or now just pretend that all these things weren't said or done. I mean, that's how it works, and that's one thing I refuse to do.
Yeah, looking at betting.
What's so important to note also is that, was it Jay Jones, the dude out there in the East Coast? I forget where exactly, but he's failing. He was the one that put out the thing, wanted to kill his opponent's kids, or they wanted them dead and all that, right? And talking about that. This stuff lasts forever. You can be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say it. And it's like, it's there forever. It's there forever. And I don't think they realized that until now. Jay Jones is going to be a good example, because he's probably not going to win that attorney general fight. We've also got some bad mojo with one of those governors out there too, and that's starting to change pace a little bit. So again, what he's saying is hugely true. And a lot of these people that are going to go out and run, and they're going to run on stuff because they're going to say things, or they're going to have talking points that are going to contradict everything they've done before. Now, maybe now they'll try to go into it with a little bit of a backstory, but still it's like, well, you're wishy-washy. You'll change to whatever, right? Like, again, it's easy to point out the problems with them doing this. We've got Gavin Newsom saying Trump is trying to rig the election. He knows the GOP is going to lose. Yeah, yet he's the one that's talking about it and nervous about it. Yeah, he's going to make it there. And what's going to happen is California is probably going to finally start to shift heavily conservative, because you aren't going to be able to use. You're going to have crazy local elections that are going to look insane compared to the national results, because you won't be allowed to claim the same. And frankly, I don't know if you're doing paper ballots for the national, then it'd be weird if you're like doing this other, and do for everything local, I want you to use this electronic system here, get it on your cell phone, right? Like, it's not going to look good. Jack Ciattarelli and Mikey Sherrill are virtually tied in that New Jersey gubernatorial race, one of the things I was sort of alluding to. So that's good. 50.2% for Mikey, 49.3% for Ciattarelli. Obviously, voting day is coming up Tuesday. Californians, get out there and vote against that stupid proposition for gerrymandering. And do it. I'm going in person. It's just no way. It's no way. Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger versus Winsome Earl Sears. It's getting closer still. They're like, 8 points, 8.5 points. So I'd like to see that. And this is, again, poll tracker. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but we'd like to see Virginia get a little smarter. But that's where the Jay Jones race is, and he's actually down from Jason Miyares. He seems to be doing a lot better, so we'll see. People got to have a clean nose. It's one of the things I've said, like Fetterman was talking about. It's why I always talk about, I'm going long-term on this. It's going to come down to the things you've said. And if you're somebody that's changed your mind or jumped on everybody's bandwagon or constantly is on the newest crazy thing, and you're, wrong a lot, that's ultimately what's going to matter. Not that your heart was in the right place and you love conspiracies or whatever, but it's going to be more like you were just wrong most of the time. Like, I like conspiracies too, but like running down rabbit holes that aren't useful is a waste of time, some could say. I mean, you learn some things. That's never a waste of time. Everything is always valuable to a degree. It's just whether or not we appreciate that value. That's different. In the category of, we've got a little of that. Obama is refusing to endorse radical New York City mayoral front-runner Mamdani. Oddly. I did watch the opener for Saturday Night Live. I totally wanted to play it, though I knew it would guarantee piss off YouTube. I was going to have to edit that out. But it was just too long, 9 minutes, and it wasn't that good, but it was good. It was pretty good. If you got 9 minutes to spare and you can find it, it's worth it. Check it out. But yeah, Obama, he didn't approve of this guy. He talked to him on the phone. He didn't give him his admiration. The last person he did, though, was Mayor Bill de Blasio. So, and that guy sucked horribly. So, Obama's track record's not good, actually. What cracked, huh? Many leftist-controlled Maryland counties stunning residents by striking a deal with ICE. This is, I think, the Attorney General Stanley Woodward says, despite restrictions from state leadership, Baltimore County has shown a willingness to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement. This is a small step towards restoring public safety, and we appreciate the county's commitments to updating its policies. Actually working with the DOJ. He says this agreement makes no change to the Department of Corrections standard practices and aligns Baltimore County with peer jurisdictions through the state of Maryland. In total, 8 Maryland counties plus crime-ridden Baltimore were placed on this list of sanctuary jurisdictions published. I think they actually got rid of it. Isn't that what happened? Local headline, confirmed leftist-controlled Baltimore County has been removed from the federal list of sanctuary jurisdictions. So Baltimore County is no longer a sanctuary county. That's a victory in my book. Michigan House, they passed a bipartisan nuclear energy incentive package. This, again, shocking. It's like, Michigan. First off, their energy prices, they were in the bottom 5 or whatever, bottom 5 people. Big part of why, but they're actually opening up the idea of having nuclear power. Now, they're likely selling power to surrounding areas and thusly helping their own local economy. So this is, again, just smart move on top of smart move. Good for Michigan, because generally they're not known for making smart moves. So that's awesome. Overreach, which we've got going on right now, in a weird, interesting kind of way. Fabulous kind of way, frankly. I'm super curious to see what happens. I've got mixed feelings on it. It's a lot of fun. This one's awesome. So, new SNAP restrictions go into place amid shutdown drama. So, the new SNAP rules went in place, effect basically yesterday, Saturday. Nice. It's the weekend. I got my windows open, my doors open, and I got a infamous motorcycle bar up the street. I love it. But Senate Democrats have now voted 13 times to not fund the food stamp program, also known as Supplemental Assistance Program. So this is, anyway, whatever the case is, new rules are kicking in. This is where you got to have a job and all that. And if you got a kid that's over 13, then you need to actually work. And so there's a lot of people that are receiving benefits that shouldn't be. Possibly many people. And so this could save us a ton of money not having to do all this. So that's happening. Now, this is one bit of reformation that needs to happen. I think I played this already, but it's 33 seconds just to remind you.
The problem is you have an extremely corrupt program, but up until this administration and with President Trump's direct focus on this and making sure every taxpayer dollar is spent appropriately, we've never really had the opportunity to dig in. So we're going to be talking a lot more about SNAP reform. We've got a lot of people listening now, which is very, very helpful, and to take that program back to its original intent of helping those who are truly needy in our communities, but not to have a massive welfare benefit where so many people are taking advantage of it that shouldn't be.
It's abused. So again, we've got to change these things. We've got to save money where we can. Doge found all sorts of problems. Everybody was like, Doge didn't do shit. No, Doge found problems. It's an issue of changing laws. It's an issue of doing radical things legally. And so that's where we're at. Our government is bankrupt. Probably assuredly. But I mean, again, we'll see. How this plays out is going to be very interesting. Because the government not opening, to me, indicates bankruptcy. We don't have any money. And we weren't given any more loans to continue. Essentially, they said, nah, you guys are done. So Trump was smart. He knew this was coming. So he got the tariffs going. He's making these trade deals. He knows we buy a lot of crap. And he's getting all this stuff lined up before shizzle hits the fan, which basically is happening, or has happened. So on Friday, this is the interesting thing. On Friday, U.S. District Judge John McConnell of Rhode Island, he announced that he would order the U.S. Department of Agriculture to distribute a pool of contingency funds as soon as possible. While minutes before, Boston U.S. District Judge Indira Talwani, you have heard her name before, she ruled that the U.S. government, ruled that the U.S. government must announce by November 3rd whether they would authorize at least partial funding for the program using around $6 billion in contingency funds, and if so, when they can do it. And McConnell's order is related to a case brought by Democrat-led cities and nonprofits who sought to keep federal funds flowing. Again, the government shuts down, the Democrats shut it down, and now the district courts are like, no, but you've got to fund this, you've got to fund that. Certainly out of the jurisdiction of the district courts. This is so beyond overreach. It's awesome in that regard. So I can't wait to see. District Judge Indira Talwani has been a douche numerous times now. And so we'll see. John McConnell, name doesn't pop out of my head as much. I'm sure he's been there before. Rhode Island doesn't surprise me. And he was actually the one that was reasonable. He's kind of like, we'll talk about this on Tuesday or something like that, and we'll see if it's even legal. Because he knew, and they stated, he's like, look, it says that the budget has to be active, and this is for emergencies, which this is not an emergency. This is a government shutdown. That's not an emergency. And so draining an emergency fund when we're still in hurricane season, when we've still got actual potential emergencies that could happen, is dangerous. Because now you're asking us to fund a lot of stuff that we have to fund extra now, because we got to fill back up that fund, if you will. Which brings me back to my point. Is this because they're literally trying to fight for any dollars that are left? Are we literally bankrupt? And this is, again, people trying to make points. And if the judges decide that, well, you have to have the government open in order to be able to use this emergency funds. It says it right here in the bill, period. It's spelled out. So no, we can't use it. The government needs to be open. There needs to be a budget for SNAP. And then if this was deemed an emergency, we could then spend it. But we've got Talwani saying, no, you've got to fund this with the emergency funds. You've got money. You've got to use it. And it's like, well, that's not even supposedly what the law says itself, the bill itself, or the whatever it is that just decides how much money to put aside, the $6 billion. Which, by the way, I think they said that the program costs something like $15 billion a month or something. It's extraordinarily expensive. It's like $150, $180 billion a year. So $6 billion's not even. We drain that out, and okay, now what, Democrats? Just like again, you drained the strategic reserve, and here you are draining things again. Now, interestingly, this is McConnell, the judge. C3 posted this. Well. Judge McConnell donated $700,000 to Democrats. He runs nonprofit Crossroads, Rhode Island, that has received $128 million in government funding. McConnell is now demanding POTUS Trump illegally fund SNAP after he tried to block Doge cuts. He's a Dem activist. So, yeah, this dude's not a good guy. Donald Trump posted this on Truth. Our government lawyers do not think we have the legal authority to pay SNAP with certain monies we have available. And now, 2 courts have issued conflicting opinions on what we can and cannot do. I do not want Americans to go hungry just because the radical Democrats refuse to do the right thing and reopen the government. Therefore, I have instructed our lawyers to ask the court to clarify how we can legally fund SNAP as soon as possible. It is already delayed enough due to the Democrats keeping the government closed through the monthly payment date, and even if we get immediate guidance, it will unfortunately be delayed while states get the money out. If we are given the appropriate legal direction by the court, it will be my honor to provide the funding, just like I did with military and law enforcement. The Democrats should quit this charade where they hurt people for their own political reasons and immediately reopen the government. If you use SNAP benefits, call the Senate Democrats and tell them to reopen the government now. Here's the crying Chuck Schumer's office number. It's area code 202-224-6542. Once again, area code 202. Make sure you dial a 1 beforehand if you're in the United States. 202-224-6542. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald Trump, truth this as well. Remember, Republicans, regardless of the Schumer shutdown, the Democrats will terminate the filibuster the first chance they get. They will pack the Supreme Court, pick up 2 states, and add at least 8 electoral votes. Their 2 objectors are gone. Don't be weak and stupid. fight, 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 win, win, win. We will immediately end the extortionist shutdown, get all of our agenda passed, and make life so good for Americans that the deranged Democrat politicians will never again have the chance to destroy America. Republicans, you will rue the day that you didn't terminate the filibuster. Be tough, be smart, and win. This is much bigger than the shutdown. This is the survival of our country. I agree. And Trump is saying it again. I am not necessarily fond of the idea of getting rid of the filibuster, but I was saying to myself this morning before I even started digging in reports, if I see it multiple times from Trump, oftentimes that's when I start to give it more credit. And it sounds like he's pushing for this, so, oh my God, are we pushing ourselves off the cliff? Maybe. It's possible. We've got Grassley talking about Pam Bondi and the auto pen stuff. Let's check this out.
Biden was ever involved in any of the decision making. And normally when you have meetings and discussions on things like pardons and other high profile events that would be presidential level, you would have notes, you would have meetings, right. There would be emails, there would be things in the schedule for meetings, nothing pertaining to Joe Biden. We gave every staffer, the 12 staffers that we brought in for depositions were the ones that we knew had the influence over the auto pen. They all were inconsistent in the process. The emails were even contradict what the deposition said. And at the end of the day, I think we've gotten as much information as we can get to determine what we've determined. Now we've handed it over to Pam Bondi, right. And we've made notes to the Attorney General. If there's further things that we can do as a committee, we'll do them. But we're going to wait for guidance from her. This is a serious issue, and all those pardons should be declared null and void.
Heck yeah. And that will be interesting because that'll obviously get sued into the courts and everything else. So it's going to be so much fun. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem has formally denied Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker's request to pause illegal ICE immigration raids.
For Halloween weekend. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem denying that request and pushing back.
No, we're absolutely not willing to put on pause any work that we will do to keep communities safe. The fact that Governor Pritzker is asking for that is shameful, and I think unfortunate that he doesn't recognize how important the work is that we do to make sure we're bringing criminals to justice and getting them off our streets, especially when we're going to send all of our kiddos out on the streets and going to events and enjoying the holiday season. We want to make sure that they're safe.
Let's bring in Ron Vitiello, CBP senior.
Making government hot again. That's what I'm seeing right now, frankly, folks. I'm seeing a lot of attractive people in government, and I love it. I love it. It's unfortunately never going to be a place for me, but hey, vote for the cuties and the hotties. Ohio Secretary of State refers 1,084 cases of suspected fraudulent voter registration to the DOJ. People that seem to be non-citizens that are voting. That would be illegal. That's a good way to get your punk ass kicked out of this country. And if you're one of the 1,084 people voting illegally, you're definitely someone we want to kick your punk ass out of. So that's awesome. Fantastic. Hey, we're making progress. Michigan's debt. It totals nearly $40 billion. So now it makes sense why they're trying to sell energy, right? But $40 billion debt, which, I mean, compared to California is nothing. You guys, you don't even know what a credit card is. Yeah, California's topped the report nearly $500 billion. Yeah, we apparently got some sort of black card or some crap like that you Michiganders don't exactly get access to with your measly $39.21 billion. Oh, God. Oh, even though we are technically, the fourth largest economy, right, in the world, $500 billion debt. Oh, it's good to be a Californian. Raise taxes. All we got to do is just tax billionaires and we'll solve everything, which is so not true. Mathematically, it doesn't work out either. And you can't, that's the other thing. You can't tax what they've got in the bank, that's one of the joys about things is once you've paid taxes on the money, it's now your money free and clear. And you can just go and park that someplace. And now you can't tax it again. You can't be like, you got assets in excess of, there's access to post-tax assets and I'm not selling them and we don't have that unrealized gain bullshit going on here yet. I'm surprised I haven't tried to pass that one. Taxpayers fund mayor's wife's charity. This is in Baltimore. We just had an interesting story about Baltimore, and they're not a sanctuary county anymore. Isn't that interesting? The city of Baltimore gave $62,500 to a nonprofit that employs the mayor's wife. According to tax filings, 6 members of the city council have introduced a bill that would make similar payments illegal, which apparently the mayor is not fond of. The corruption in our government is beyond reproach. Start local. Your local city council likely is, frankly, your local HOA is probably stealing from you. Get involved. I say this as a hypocrite, for sure. I don't go to my HOA meetings. I need to. I keep telling myself that when they send me the notices for them. They're, I think, even just up. I think they're just up the street from me. So that's how sad it is. Now, again, nothing major going on here. My last place I was living at, holy crap. My association dues for the HOAs, I had 2 I had to pay, right? And my condo. When I first bought the place, it was 20 years I lived there, so over a 20-year time span, I want to say it went from, there was one I had to pay that was like I think it was $210. Was it $210 originally? And then the other one was like $20 or something like that. So $230, which, man, still a lot. When I left, the $210 one was $450, and the $20 one was something like $100 and something. So I was paying like $500+ to the HOA just to have sprinklers in the pool, which I never used. So again, it's interesting. It's just funny how these things play out. They rip you off everywhere. Get involved locally. Look outside your front door. That's where your problem is. All right, what's happening in Washington, D.C., unless you live in that nasty state, or city, sorry, don't worry about it, right? I mean, literally, I kind of mean that. I mean, I kind of don't, but I kind of do. We should talk about it. We need to ripple. Come on. Don't give up rippling, people. Trump apparently had an MRI, which they actually kind of made fun of in Saturday Night Live, but they did it in a funny kind of way. So I didn't actually know it until after the effect. I'm like, oh, that's where that comment came from. That was, I don't know, kind of funny. Trump's MRI scan raises specter of secrecy in presidential health. Again, this is the Hill. This is a left-leaning rag, sort of left-center, but I don't know. I don't know why he had an MRI. I don't know. Hope he's okay. That's all I can say. Like, right? I think a lot of people, what I think is the fascinating part about this is there's a lot of people that see that news and they're like, oh my God, if something happens to Trump, we're screwed. And that's like the thing that frightens me the most, because it's like they're the ones that don't realize that Trump started the movement. Trump was the first idiot that stood up and started dancing. And you guys started dancing with him. And if that guy suddenly ducks out, what, you're going to stop dancing? Are you shitting me? Now, I don't think that's what's happening. I mean, they've killed off Putin, I don't know how many times now, right? Like, so but yeah, he had an MRI. We don't know. We don't know shit. They didn't tell us anything, I don't think. Whatever. They probably, they kind of made fun of it that in Saturday Night Live. That's why I think it was funny, is, he had his cognitive test, and then it was like, and then they gave me an MRI to make sure they could see my brain, or I don't know. It was just like I did so well on the cognitive test that I needed an MRI. And the dude actually looked like when he first walked out, I'm like, shit, that's like, if he didn't look so skinny, I would have actually have damn near believed for a second that was Trump. It tripped me out. And no offense, Trump, sorry, but you do eat a lot of McDonald's, so I'm not gonna lie to you. Trump's EPA accelerates California's sewage cleanup by over a decade. This is a deal going on with Mexico, the Tijuana River sewage crisis. Basically, a bunch of poo in the river at Tijuana River. The Navy SEALs like to swim in that just to see if they can kill off any of the weak SEAL candidates, with friggin' sewage in the water. It's not what they're intending to do, but this river they swim in is nasty. But again, you're going to go into sewage-filled waters in other countries. I mean, it happens. My girlfriend's place, the river right behind it, actually, her little house is. It's got all sorts of poo in it. Nasty. That's what they do. It's got that. It's got pollution from the, she calls it the fermentation factory, but yeah, so they make alcohol or ferment something or whatever the hell. And they just dump all their shit into the river, same river. So, yeah, they don't care. Again, we're weirdly cool here when it comes to trying to not kill ourselves. But, yeah. Canadian leader Carney Says he apologized to Trump after the tariff ad. Says something not. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it. You know, I don't know. I'm trying to make him sound British just because it was Ontario. It wasn't us. Right? I punched a moose. But here's the thing. I think what Trump said, and this is the hidden story or the hidden gem, is Trump probably told Carney, well, that's great. That's fantastic. If Ontario does that kind of shit, you're going to obviously do something to punish them, right? Or maybe even now, because you've created a problem with the relationship with another country because of your little stupid antics, right? Are you going to make an issue of this and demonstrate to others that it's not okay? We are so in a weird... They're saying it's a utopian world we're going to, but man, we tap dance on that dystopian, utopian line, don't we? Don't we? I'm telling you, I am aware of that, guys. Okay? Every day. Oh my God. Woke up well, fortunately we had the time change last night, so for hopefully the last time, I pray. They say it is, but you know, I don't believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see it. I love it though. I love the fact we're not going to change. I hate it. I hate it. And this direction is actually easy. You get an extra hour of sleep. You can't bitch about that. That's just, she's like, somehow I'm not as tired as normal. That's not bad. The other direction sucks. You're like, wow, I'm sleepy. And it's like, normally I'd go to bed like 2 hours from now and I'm tired. Whatever. What do we got here? Oh, this. TWC, folks. Okay, so again, I've been talking about the ivermectin, mebendazole, parasite cleanse. Loving it. The dots. I don't know, guys. I don't know, right? Like, I'm either killing myself, which I don't think is the case. There's a doctor involved. It's not like I'm just randomly like, okay, I'll take this drug, and I mix them together, and when I see smoke, I start taking it. No, it's not like that. This is very strong dosage of ivermectin, 25 milligrams, and 250 milligrams of mebendazole. These are two very known anti-parasitic drugs. Parasites are oddly being understood newly. This is new information, really, frankly, that parasites are actually a lot more involved in our lives than we realize. I actually use the word parasite and virus a little more synergistically together. They're not the same thing, certainly. Parasites are a more complex version of virus. Virus is still an organism that's alive. Parasites are just a more advanced organism. I actually think the red dots things that I've been talking about are actual parasites. They're literally have turned dark. In between my little pause, I think I went about 3 weeks where I didn't take ivermectin in between my first and second bottle, right? You're only supposed to do it for like 21 days and then take some time off. First round, I went like 90 days. I went hard. I went way hard. And like I said, that's when I started noticing, like, oh my God, a couple of these are turning dark. And it's like they're dying. Right? So there are a lot of weird things, at least in my body. I don't know about you. I don't know, but I have one on the arm that I share. This one's, you can see it's starting to darken. And this is like, it seems like the further away from the heart, like the stuff in the center, definitely, anyway, whatever. I don't want to get too gross, but I mean, it's not gross per se. It's like, they're like red freckles, but they're changing. I got one down on the side. It's actually darkened. Like, again, it has to be this. Ivermectin and the parasites and the crazy crap we got, they got a whole collection, ivermectin collection you want to check into. Again, the mebendazole, this is the one to parasite cleanse. 90 pills. 90 pills. 1 pill a day. You've got extraordinarily strong antiviral, anti-parasitic in your hands. You do it for 21 days, you still got a bunch of pills, right? You get sick. Someone gives you the flu. Just take this for a day or 2 or 3. It's super powerful to knock out any virus in your body. Seriously, this is like have one of these sitting in your house. One, use it for the cleanse, but 2, this is a beautiful setup for, like, again, I haven't gotten a cold sore. Like, I assume there's other stuff. Like, I don't have all sorts of different crazy viruses. But, like, you know, I haven't gotten a cold sore since I've been taking ivermectin. I had a bunch of ivermectins back in the day that were going out of date, so I took those, and that's kind of what led into a lot of this. So I've actually been taking ivermectin like on a regular for a little while now. It's surprising what it can do. They've got a cream that you can use. You got some of that skin cancer, you got problems with that, maybe eczema and stuff like that. They've got this ivermectin cream that people are raving about right now. And again, you just want ivermectin, just want to have some regular ivers. They're like 18 milligrams, 84 pills. It's a pretty good deal. And yeah, get that. Now you've got it. if something like a flu passes around. Now, there is the contagion kit, I will be honest, and this has some extra stuff. If you're somebody that's at risk and, flus freak you out because when you get them, you almost die, you want to get the contagion kit. It's got the Ivers, it's got hydroxychloroquine, it's got a generic Tamiflu. All those are antivirals that are very specific for upper respiratory type viruses. They've also got the kit for the asthma medication and the infuser, whatever it is, the little breathing thingy, right? And then you got 5 vials of that stuff, and so it's great. And then they've also got the Z-Pak, the antibiotic that typically works with the upper respiratory. So again, doctors are involved in every step of this. The contagion kit is incredible. They've got amazing products. Again, appetite control or any sort of weight loss. They've got the drop. The drop stuff is really good right now. People are loving this. It's helping with appetite, and it's actually helping drop weight healthily, like slowly in a healthy way. And this is something where you're going to drop it, 5, 6, 7, 8 pounds a week, 10 pounds a week. That's what we're talking about. A lot of people are like, I need it faster than that. Next week, I got a photo shoot. I got to wear a bikini, and I'm 100 pounds overweight. It's like, no, Then tell them you're going to be fat in that bikini shot. There's no damn way. And if you go and do it quick, go Ozempic or something, you're going to need my collagen stuff because your skin's going to get all nasty. You lose weight too fast, your skin doesn't catch up. It looks gross. So again, took you years to get here. Give yourself a little time to get off it. Drop helps because your skin can kind of stay with you. Skin will actually shrink in. It does. Just if you lose weight too fast, skin can't keep up. Can't keep up. Just too much skin. You got way too much skin. It's going to take you some time to lose that skin. Do it the healthy way. Do it the right way. Drop's insane. It's like a mixture of a bunch of this stuff. Again, they've got the help with the metabolism. Also, again, the spike detox. If you are someone that took the shot or someone else you live with, this will help get that spike out of there. It literally looks for it and pulls it out. Again, just awesome products. Just look. Go to, twc.health/OTF. That's TWC, the wellness company. TWC.health/OTF. TWC.health/OTF. All sorts of great stuff. All sorts of stuff that will actually keep you healthy and safe. And certainly make sure that you are doing exactly that. All right, China's poor record cracking down on fentanyl trade looms over this new trade deal. So this whole thing that China's like, wait, we're trying to stop the amount of fentanyl being produced. But the government's actually been paying for the precursors of it and paying and making business deals with other countries to ship those precursors to them, knowing full well that's what they're using it for. So big shocker. They're lying. And we're seeming to be calling them on it. We'll see where that gets us. FDA announces a recall of a blood pressure drug due to cancer risk. This blood pressure, 580,000 bottles of prazosin hydrochloride, a blood pressure medication due to concerns over the presence of a potentially cancer-causing chemical. Medication is also prescribed for PTSD. And so anyway, something to keep in mind. What else we got? Trump is warning U.S. military is going to be going into Nigeria. Nigeria is the place where they're killing Christians. And he's like, literally, you guys got like a super short period of time, or we're going to come in there and kill you. He posted this on Truth. If the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns ablazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. I am hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians. Warning, the Nigerian government better move fast. That is their warning. I'm not sure what that time frame would mean, but I would assume many hours to a couple days, and your time's up. Trump is definitely putting the hammer down on a number of situations right now. Certainly, obviously, South America, the top of it anyways. And obviously got some weird stuff going on in Africa, which is still strange that we're needing to help out there, but cleaning up something. And obviously, China is not capable of spreading its power in enough places simultaneously to be able to help this situation. So we have to take care of it until China's able to. And Russia's a little too busy in a war right now to be able to help much. Former 3-star general is retiring amid tensions with Hegseth. So, of course, he's talking crap. Well, Hegseth and Kane, by the way, Raising Kane, both these dudes are hardcore. And so this guy is Lieutenant General Joe McKee. No disrespect, sir. To some degree, I hope you earned your stars. But we're in a new world, a new place, and if you're not on board, I don't want you there, and I don't feel a bit bad for you, home dog. I don't care what your story is, frankly. But he was the director for strategy, plans, and policy on the Joint Chief. Left his post earlier this month, according to CNN. He was a Biden nominee, so yeah, he was probably transgender or something strange. Ex-CIA Director John Brennan explodes as he's confronted about Hunter Biden's laptop. I think we had the small explosion here on what they would say is tape, but it's not that anymore.
Why didn't you know on the Hunter Biden laptop? Why say it? Because I think it. And you misrepresented that. We never said it was disinformation. We said it was Russian influence operations, which is what they do. There's a big difference between influence operations. No, you don't know that. Yes, Comey knew. Comey knew. The literature said it had all marks.
That's assault, by the way. Fingers touching like that, that's literally assault. You are not allowed to touch other people. Let me repeat that. You are not allowed to touch other people. Not allowed. It is illegal. If they don't want you to touch, it is assault. Now, again, how in trouble are you going to get if you just barely touch someone and you're in front of a judge? Nah, barely. But you broke the law, and she'll let you know that. Yeah, you got to pay a fine. $500 fine, go pay it up the thing. What? You broke the law. You touched the dude. You even admitted it. So, yeah, he's a pile of trash. I don't know if you guys knew that. Fox News posted this. A National Guardsman has been charged with trying to send photos of sensitive U.S. military technology to Russia. Prosecutors say Canyon Anthony Amaris, 28, has also agreed to ship a helicopter radio overseas for the Russian military. Dude looks like, he kind of looks Russian, or at least the Eastern European or whatever, right? He's got that look about him. I don't know. It's hard to tell. All white people look the same. I know it. You know it. We all know it. We blow up another boat in the middle of the Pacific now. We're not middle, but in Eastern Pacific. Of course, 17-second long video. And, of course, there's no noise because that would be simple. Yeah, and yeah, boom. So they got double whammy on that guy. Look at that, double whammy. That's not an actual term, I'm pretty sure, but it is from other ways. But needless to say, U.S. carries out new strike in Caribbean. Oh, this is Caribbean this time. Okay, my bad. Sorry. Killing 3 alleged drug smugglers. They're killing people. It's like pissing people off like Rand Paul. He's like, oh, I can't believe we got to stop killing these drug dealers. Oh, my God. This is wrong. Dude, these aren't people with just superpower boats that are like, no, we were just getting ready for a race, and then all of a sudden my friend got blowed up. It's not what's going on. Rand Paul, you're probably getting money there in Kentucky. Kentucky's so fucked up. I don't know what's going on with Kentucky. There was a woman there. Yeah, Neil Diamond, she sang very fondly of her, and she sounds lovely, by the way. But I don't know what's going on. Here's what's happening, though, in Venezuela, or above Venezuela, north of Venezuela, to be, I guess, more proper. They've got all these weird little GPS spoofing issues going on. All these places where GPS is not working properly. So these spoofing technologies are probably being utilized. I don't know, could be us, could be them. Could be Russia, but they're maybe trying to make it more difficult for us. I think a lot of our newer technologies, and this may be a test for it. I said, hell yeah, it's Sunday, baby. It's Sunday. That bar's awesome, though. It's awesome. All set. They got all sorts of cool stuff. Venezuela is an imminent threat, so we'll see what's going on. Maduro urgently seeks military aid from Russia and China with a bullseye on Venezuela, so it's likely some of that is happening there, right? Nobel Peace Prize winner calls for military attack on her own country. Literally, the lady who I think won the election against Maduro, who just like, no, I'm not going to let her be in charge. I'm going to continue to run this country. Well, company is probably a better way to put it. Very tied in with the drug dealers, the drug cartels and all that stuff. Maduro essentially runs them, like general of all that, basically. With them in Cuba, a lot of power has been handed to them, and it wasn't being fought and pushed in any way, shape, or form. It is now. We've got peace coming from their side of the fence. This is the regime changes, this chick, who was rightfully elected, and that will come to play soon. We are going to take out the people that are keeping her from being able to get to power where she belongs, where the people voted her. Netanyahu says Israel's destroying 2 Hamas pockets in an IDF-held territory in Gaza. I don't know if it's behind the line. It sounds like they're going to kind of bustle back from the line. Israel's not doing a good job, in my opinion, of the narrative war. Maybe on purpose, maybe they just suck at it. I don't know, but they've been sucking at it for a long time. And we're supposed to be like, no, Israel, we give them an extra 12 steps before we pull them back. And it's like, I don't know. They're the ones that seem to be breaking the boycott. And I don't trust Hamas at all. I trust Hamas zero. But I don't necessarily trust the IDF either. Some deep state factions still heavily at work over there. A stabbing spree has been happening in London. Again, I mean, at least it's not shootings. You guys got some really pissed off people that are not generally native. This one might be native born. I'm not sure. I don't know if they caught him or not, this individual. I think they did. He was attacked a whole bunch of people, stabbed a whole bunch of people. A black man wearing a black mask. Around 12 people are believed to have been needing medical attention. Doesn't sound like anyone died. So cool, but it's weird. That's how they roll there, I guess. I don't know. South Africa complains about Trump prioritizing white Afrikaner refugees. Yeah, of course he's pissed, because they've been like, we want to round them up and kill them, and you keep getting them out of there, dick. And you didn't give me a good trade deal. Yeah, this dude's... Some are saying he might be next on the list of the Maduro, and I don't mean the kiss on the list, no, but like the getting you accidentally, like show you a photo of your house from a satellite image, that kind of thing. Like, don't go home tonight kind of thing. That's all. Josh Hawley talking about the Senate is bought and paid for by big tech. It certainly freaking is, but him admitting it's pretty cool. Check it out.
Congress hasn't acted on this issue because of money. It's because of the power of the tech companies. I mean, let's just be honest. These companies are the wealthiest companies in the world. They're the wealthiest companies in the history of the world, and they're the most powerful companies on this hill. They spend like nobody's business. And I've said before, joking, but really it's more ruefully, there ought to be a sign outside of the Senate chamber that says bought and paid for by big tech. Because the truth is almost nothing that they object to crosses that Senate floor. We want to change that.
I hope that's the problem. And what the problem really is that, because a lot of people, I think in the public and in my audience even, have these expectations of senators and people in House and Congress that they're somehow morally like greed is not a part of their makeup. And I think that's absurd. I mean, again, I'd love to have more people that don't seem like greed's a factor in their makeup actually in politics, because we might actually be able to really seriously change this world. But asking for that, when I think if a lot of us look in the mirror and said, if someone handed me a whole bunch of money to sell out my city, sell out my state, sell out my company, sell out whatever, would I do it? And I bet you a butt ton of people would. And if you're somebody that wouldn't, well, good on you. You're the kind of person that we need. But unfortunately, I think our Congress is full of people that are of the latter and are certainly bought and paid for by all sorts of crazy stuff. NASA's Sean Duffy, he responds to Kim Kardashian. I don't know, she was saying that we never went to the moon, and he's like, yeah, we've been there 6 times. So yeah, this has made a big hullabaloo. In case you care about that hullabaloo, there you go. Joe Rogan had Elon Musk on. They were talking about this new roadster that's coming out. I got a couple cool little Musk kind of stories here. But this is actually interesting. What he's sort of trying to hint at again, Elon Musk, I think, is trying to become relevant again. One, his Tesla company is just hurting for certain. So I think this is almost 100%. It's kind of like why Mike Lindell tries to come on my channel, because generally my sales of my pillow are significantly higher when he comes on the channel than when he doesn't. But that, of course, is mypillow.com/OTF. Use the OTF coupon code. Help me out. Help a brother out. But yeah, it's just the way the game plays, right? And you get in front of people and stuff happens and whatever. But here we got Elon Musk talking about the new possibly flying car that Tesla's talking about making.
Are you still doing the Roadster?
Yes.
Eventually?
We're getting close to demonstrating the prototype.
Like how
and
close?
I think this will be... one thing I can guarantee is that this product demo will be unforgettable. Unforgettable.
How so?
Whether it's good or bad, it will be unforgettable.
Can you say more? What do you mean?
Well, my friend Peter Thiel, once reflected that the future was supposed to have flying cars, but we don't have flying cars.
So you're going to be able to fly?
Well, I think if Peter wants a flying car, he should be able to buy one.
So are you actively considering making an electric flying car? Is this like a real thing?
Well, we have to see in the
demo.
Yeah.
So when you do this, like, are you going to have a retractable wing? Like, what is the idea behind this? Don't be sly. Come on.
Well, I can't do the unveil before the unveil. But
tell me off air then.
Look, I think it has a shot at being the most memorable product unveil ever. It has a shot.
And when do you plan on doing this? What's the goal?
Hopefully before the end of the year.
Really? Before the end of this year? This is, we're almost
like in
November
a couple
1st.
months. Hopefully in a couple months. We need to make sure that it works. This is some crazy, crazy technology we got in this car. Crazy technology. Crazy, crazy.
So different than what was previously announced and...
Yes.
And is that why you haven't released it yet? Because you keep fucking with it?
It has crazy technology.
Okay.
Is it even a car? I'm not sure. It looks like a car. Let's just put it this way. It's crazier than anything James Bond. If you took all the James Bond cars and combined them, it's crazier than that.
Very exciting.
Yes.
I don't know what to think
Is
of
it
that
even a
because
car? I don't know.
it's the limited amount of information I'm drawing from here. Jamie's very suspicious over there. Look at him. Excited.
I'm interested.
It's still going to be the same.
Well, you know what? If you want to come a little before the unveil, I can show it to you.
100%.
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan loves cars, and Joe Rogan's, super wealthy. And again, not in a bad way. The dude's earned it. He's been very, very smart about how he's gone about things. But he wants one of these. I guarantee you. Here's Elon Musk talking about, the way that he envisions phones going. Now, again, some of you guys are going to get a little butthurt about this. I'm not trying to pass any judgment. It's your decision. I'm just sharing information with you. I thought it was kind of fascinating that this kind of shit's happening. Am I going to get one? No. I'm not going to get any implants. I don't know if they're actual implants. I haven't listened to this whole thing.
But it keeps coming up. It keeps coming up where I know I've asked you a couple times, I'm like, this is bullshit, right? But
I'm not working on one.
You're not working on it.
I'm not working on a phone.
Okay. Have you ever considered it? Has it ever popped into your head? Because you might be the only person that could get people off of the Apple platform.
Well, I can tell you where I think things are going to go, which is that we're not going to have a phone, or in the traditional sense, what we call a phone will really be an an edge node for AI inference, for AI video inference, with some radios to obviously connect to. But essentially, you'll have AI on the server side communicating to an AI on your device, formerly known as a phone, and generating real-time video of anything that you could possibly want. And I think that there won't be operating systems, there won't be apps in the future. There won't be operating systems or apps. It'll just be, you've got a device that is there for the screen and audio and for and to put as much AI on the device as possible, so as to minimize the amount of bandwidth that's needed between your edge node device, formerly known as a phone, and the servers.
So if there's no apps, what will people use? Like, will X still exist? Will there be email platforms, or will you get everything through AI?
You'll get everything through AI.
Everything through AI. What will be the benefit of that, as opposed to having individual apps?
Whatever you can think of, or really whatever the AI can anticipate you might want, it'll show you. That's my prediction for where things end up.
What kind of time frame are we talking about here?
I don't know. It's probably 5 or 6 years, something like that.
Yeah, soon, basically. I keep hearing, 2030, 2038, 2030. I don't know. So 2030s are going to be a very outstanding time. I think we're going to see significant changes. I think this is where we might envision or experience some of the, I don't know if there's separation. I don't know how the separation occurs. It's one thing I keep thinking. There's at some point there needs to be a departing. Some people are staying on a certain highway, and some people are going to go to other places, So how this plays out, I don't know. Don't know. It'll be interesting, though. It's coming. Coming soon to a theater near you, that's for sure. I love you guys. We got a lot going on. A lot of things are happening. A lot of changes are occurring, and it is happening rapidly. So please be prepared as best you can. Have food, have water, have things. Just make sure, whatever it is that you need, extra medications possibly if you can. Like, again, just try to be as prepared as you can for the inevitable possibility that you're going to have to go a little bit without, 10 days, month, 2 months. I don't know. Be ready, though. Double up, triple up, whatever you got, whatever you can do. Be prepared. We're getting close, guys. I love you. Things are getting serious. Take advantage of this November deal with Goldco. DRSlikesgold.com. DRSlikesgold.com. Get out of that nonsense. We're out of here, folks, and we're doing this together. That's the beauty of it all. Where we go one, we go all together. It's like a big party. Yeah, like a dead man's party. It's on the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle.